morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to see all of you here today. And it is a very special pleasure to welcome back to our media center our five-time Masters champion and the most recent inductee to the World Golf Hall of Fame. Tiger, it is great seeing you, and we appreciate the time you're spending with us today.
Thank you, Rob. It's hard to believe it's been 25 years since I won here, but it's great to be back and be able to feel the energy and the excitement of the Patriots again. I hadn't seen them since when I won, and obviously we had a COVID year, and I missed last year. So it was neat to feel that energy out there on the golf course yesterday, and hopefully this storm blows out of here, and we get to have a great week.
Thank you. Well, we join in celebrating your 25th anniversary of your first win because it was a transformational win, and it changed forever the world of golf. So looking back, it's quite special. Well, last year at the 2021 tournament, all of us missed Tiger Woods greatly. And you and your family were in our thoughts and prayers for the next 14 months, hoping for a complete and total recovery. It is great seeing you here today. So we will now open it up to questions. Jimmy Roberts.
Hi, Tiger. Over here.
Yep.
Nice to see you. Are you surprised at all where you are right now physically? I mean, I think a lot of people are surprised that you're here and giving it a try. How about you?
I've worked hard. My team has been unbelievable. I've been lucky to have had great surgeons and great PTs and physios that have worked on me virtually every day. And we've worked hard to get to this point, to get to this, an opportunity to walk the grounds, test it out, and see if I can do this. It's been a tough year, and a lot of stuff that I had to deal with, and I don't wish on anyone, but here we are, and Masters Week, and being able to play and practice, and for me, more importantly, to say thank you to all the guys that have texted me, FaceTimed me, and called me, given me all their support. To see them in person and to say thank you, it has meant a lot.
Got it.
Tiger, when will you decide whether you can play, and what determines that?
Where's
Over
Doug?
here, sorry.
Sorry, Doug. Where are you at?
Somewhere around here, far right.
Nope, they got you.
When will you decide whether for sure you're playing, and what will determine that?
Well, as of right now, I feel like I am going to play. As of right now, I'm going to play 9 more holes tomorrow. My recovery has been good. I've been very excited about how I've recovered each and every day, and that's been the challenge. That's why I came up here and tested out for 27 holes, because we played the par 3 course. Charlie couldn't help himself. So was able to play 27 holes that day, and at home testing it. But it's the recovery, how am I going to get all the swelling out and recover for the next day? And my team has been fantastic and worked very hard. So we've got another day of 9 more holes, and then come game time.
Jim.
Hey, Tiger. Good to see you. How much physical pain do you have to endure playing golf?
Yeah, there is. There is, each and every day. Obviously, given what I've gone through with my back, and then obviously with my right leg. Yeah, there is each and every day.
How much does that take away from your ability to play, or have you just mentally overcome it, or have to overcome it every time you play?
It's been one of those things where I've had to endure pain before, and this is different. Obviously, this is a lot more traumatic, what has transpired to my leg. We've had to put a lot of work, but as I said, I'm very thankful to my surgeons and my PTs and physios that have worked on me and have given me this opportunity to play golf.
Michael.
Thank you. Tiger, to go back to Sunday 2019 for a minute, you got 12 right behind you. You made an incredible par there. Started to rain a little bit. You go to 13 tee. Your foot looks like maybe you're trying to hit a cut shot. I'm not sure. Your foot slipped a little bit. and then the ball winds up in the middle of the fairway. And I'm wondering if you ever got to see what the ball actually did.
No, I didn't. If you look at what Jeff sets it up, each and every year, and he moves that tee over maybe another step. And you look at everyone, there's nowhere else to go. So everyone who has played there has teed off virtually from the same spot. It's like digging into a batter's box. And it's sandy there. And there's really very little light that gets back in there, that area. So the grass is never, as pristine as it is anywhere else on a golf course. And we're all hitting from the same spot. And it's not uncommon to see guys slip there. And I did. I slipped and I hit it off the toe and hit a toe draw right around the corner.
Draw. It didn't go over the trees?
Nope, I had toe draw.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And
Hey, Tiger, great to see you. How agonizing has it been just making the decision for you? Just talking about just
Well-
the decision-making process.
It's just a matter of what my body's able to do the next day and the recovery. That's the hard part. Is that, yes, we push it and try and recover the best we possibly can, that night, and then see how it is the next morning. Then all the the activations and going through that whole process again, and you warm it up, and then you warm it back down, or test it out, and then you got to cool it back down. Then you got to do that day in and day out, and it gets agonizing and teasing because of simple things that that I would normally just go do. It would take now a couple hours here and a couple hours there to prep and then wind down. So activity time to do what I want to do. It adds more time on both sides of it, pre and post. So that has been, it's not something I haven't done, but the times have gotten longer on both sides.
Daniel?
Tiger,
Hey,
you've said countless times throughout your career that you don't enter a golf tournament unless you think that you can win it. So the question is simple. Do you think you can win the Masters this week?
I do.
And what have you seen in your preparation that leads you to believe that?
Well, I can hit it just fine, and I don't have any qualms about what I can do physically from a golf standpoint. It's now walking's the hard part. This is normally not a easy walk to begin with. Now, given the conditions that my leg is in, it gets a little more difficult, and that 72 holes is a long road, and it's going to be a tough challenge, and a challenge that I'm up for.
Jeff?
Tiger, just on that topic, what part of the golf course is most difficult in terms of walking? Do you worry about slippage, and just also your assessment of the changes in the golf course?
Well, I've don't worry about slipping. I've got medals in, so I don't have to worry about that. Even with the rain, that doesn't really concern me. Some of the changes are some are more drastic than others. Others are very subtle. Resurfacing on 3, but that's they've resurfaced every green since I've been here. But what they did on 11 is interesting. Just from the standpoint that we're further back, and then we thought that Larry my shot is gone. Now it's really gone. Them raising the green up even more so on the right hand side, and we're further back, so we're more prone to hit the ball over there anyway. So now it's a harder and more difficult pitch. Other than that, the softening of 13, I understand it. Trying to add a couple new pins. Which they tend to do here. Over the years, I've never seen them take away pins. They always add it to areas in which they can grow more pins and more hole locations, options for the committee to give us as a challenge. But I've never seen them take away pins, and so 13 kind of fits into what their philosophy has been here.
Patrick?
Tiger, hi there. It's wonderful to see you, and thanks very much for your time. From that day early last year to this day, and this of all weeks, when you reflect on all you've been through, on all you've overcome, what words do you choose today to now reflect on these 14 months?
Thankful. Yeah, very, very thankful. Thankful for just everyone's support. Everyone who's been involved in my process of the work in that I've put in each and every day, the people I work with, my whole team, and just as I was alluding to, all the support from the players out here. You know, we're a big fraternity, and the amount of texts and FaceTimes and calls I've gotten over the past year have meant a lot. And to see some of the guys, you know, at home, whether I've been out at Medalist, out there playing, see them again, or to have seen them yesterday in person, and just say thanks. I saw a few of them at the Hall of Fame induction, but I'm sure as the week goes on, I'll see more of them. So it's been great. And tonight is the night of all nights, to see all the guys again and listen to all the chiding and the stuff that, you know, I can't ever repeat here, and we don't ever repeat. But the fact that what we're able to say to each other is just awesome.
Ian?
Hi, Tiger. If someone had told you in the first few days or weeks after your accident that you would be able to compete in this Masters with the expectation of winning it, what would you have said or thought?
Well, at that time, I was still in a hospital bed, and I was that for the next 3 months. And so I never left that hospital bed, even in my living room, for 3 months. So that was a tough road. And to finally get out of that, where I wasn't in a wheelchair or crutches and walking, and still had more surgeries ahead of me, to say that I was going to be here playing and talking to you guys again, would have been very unlikely.
Steve?
Tiger, what are the shoes that you're wearing now give you that the shoes that you were wearing before don't?
Well, I have very limited mobility now. I just, with, you know, the rods and plates and screws that are in my leg, I needed something different, something that allowed me to be more stable, and that's what I've gone to. So it's Nike's been fantastic over the years of providing me with equipment and work, and we have worked. We've been working on trying to find something to allow me to do this and then swing again. And we're still going to continue doing it, and hopefully we'll have something soon.
Mr. Murray?
Tiger, you spoke in the Bahamas in November about being at peace with what the future held, because you came back, you won here, you scaled that mountain. What's been the main motivation to do it again, to put yourself through it all again?
Well, I love competing, and I feel like if I can still compete at the highest level, I'm going to. And if I feel like I can still win, I'm going to play. But if I feel like I can't, then you won't see me out here. You guys know me better than that. And as Dee asked earlier, I don't show up to an event unless I think I can win it. So that's the attitude I've had, and there'll be a day when it won't happen, and I'll know when that is. But physically, the challenge this week is I don't have to worry about the ball striking or the game of golf. It's actually just the hills out here. That's going to be the challenge, and it's going to be a challenge of a major marathon.
Are there any particular weather conditions that would make it more difficult for you to decide to play?
Oh, I mean, kind of just in general with my body, anytime it's cold, it doesn't feel very good. I think anyone who's in this room who's older than me can probably attest to that.
I am.
Mr. Axelrod?
I just want to follow up on this notion of your rehab process.
Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't been able to go, would you be satisfied with your career here and your career in general, and how much of that idea, I still got work to do here, was fueling the rehab process?
No, I feel like I could, if everything went well, if my surgeons gave me a chance, and then my PTs and my surgeons, they all said that I could do this again. Now, it's up to me to endure the pain and all that. But I felt like I could still do this, and I don't know how many more years I can do this. I was very fortunate to have come back in the end of 17. when I did, because I didn't know if I could still do it again at that time. But again, my surgeons gave me an opportunity, and my PTs did the same. And this is kind of the same scenario, but a little bit more severe than it was back then.
But if you couldn't have, would have you been satisfied?
Yes, I would have. Yeah, I think 82 is a pretty good number, and 15 is not too bad either.
Bob Harry?
Tiger,
Yeah.
when you were here last week, would that have been your first time back since the 2020 Masters?
Yes, that was. It was. Yeah.
So given all you've been through, was it at all emotional coming here, even on a practice day, and how much did having Charlie play with you add to the whole experience?
Yeah, it meant a lot to both of us. Yeah, he got a chance to play, right before the 20 Masters, and he's grown a lot since then. Become a lot better player. So it was fun to see the changes in him, and for us as a family to go out here and then have Robbie out here and JT, who's like my younger brother and Charlie's older brother. For us to come out here and just play together, and we just had a blast, and couldn't ask for a better day temperature-wise. I mean, it was just a perfect day, and it was fun for me as a parent to see him enjoy it, and then just trying to remind him. I say these putts break a little bit more than they do back home. Florida greens are not quite like Augusta. So a couple of the putts, it was pretty funny. He says, just outside left? I said, no, it's more like 3 feet outside left. So then we had a great time. And as I said, it was a blast. And for me to have that opportunity again, as Ian was asking earlier, whether I, a year ago, would I have said yes to that, it was a totally different scenario.
Mr. Lipton?
Hi. Would it be easier for you to go out early Thursday and later on Friday than vice versa in terms of recovery? And secondly, you've been used to adulation throughout your career, and understandably so. Have you ever felt a sense of warmth and reverence you got on that practice round yesterday? Because it seemed to be remarkable, the outpouring of warmth in your direction.
As I said earlier, the last time I'd had patrons out here was on that Sunday when I won, and it felt a little bit like that. Not quite as frenzied as that was. That was a little bit different. That was on a Sunday of a championship Sunday, but yesterday was incredible. Everyone loves Freddy's. That's why they all came out. So.
John?
Tiger, what do the doctors tell you about moving forward? Is this as good as you're going to feel, or will it get better?
My movement probably will not get much better. Will I feel better? Yes, I will. I'm going to get stronger, and the whole limb will get stronger. But as far as movement, I probably not much more. I'm so limited with the hardware in there. I won't get much more.
Mr. Fields?
Tiger, when you recovered from or came back from the spinal fusion, you were asked and you would respond about Ben Hogan and how the severity of what he went through after his crash. Are you drawing any inspiration now from his story, given that, like you, his problem really wasn't ball striking, but just surviving the walk?
Yeah, it's what he went through pre-round. Obviously, he didn't have the technology that we have now, but the amount of hot tubs that he would have to take, pre-round, post-round, in the middle of the night, just to be able to get up and swing a club the next day, I certainly appreciate that. And the treatments have gotten so much better, and I'm very thankful for that. Because if the treatments hadn't gotten any, if I had to go through it, with my accident, given what had happened to me during his era, I wouldn't be playing this week, that's for sure.
Gary?
Tiger, given your leg, what are the more troublesome lies for you? Are they uphill, downhill, or side hill? And are there certain parts of some fairways that you might try to avoid that you wouldn't have thought twice about a couple of years ago?
No, if I'm in the fairway, it's all good. So the only flat spots here, as we know, are the 18 tee boxes. Other than that, there's nothing flat about this place. And if I have to worry about it being in 14 fairways, I'll take that any day.
Todd Lewis in the back left.
Tiger, I know you're here feeling you can win, but given the challenges you have with your body in the competitive arena now, these new ones, and the challenges that you have overcome, how do you define a successful week here at the Masters?
Well, I think that the fact that I was able to get myself here to this point is a success. And now that I am playing, now everything is focused on how do I get myself into a position where I'm on that back nine on Sunday with a chance, just like I did, a few years ago.
Paul Dowdy, we have time for possibly 2 more questions. Paul?
Tiger, over here. Two real quick, if you don't mind. Do you have a personal tradition unlike any other here? And if this place were flat, would your decision be a lot easier?
Well, any traditions? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. I've been coming here since '95, and so. As far as a flat golf course, if it was back home and Medalist, it'd been a hell of a lot easier, yes.
Is it Richard Castillo?
Yes, sir. Hey, Tiger.
Yeah.
Billy Horschel talked about saying that you wanted to walk away. This coming here and getting yourself to this position was all about walking away from the game on your own terms. Has that been a motivation for you to compete and possibly win here at Augusta?
It has, and when I decide to hang it up when I feel like I can't win anymore, and that'll be it. But I feel like I can still do it, and I feel like I still have the hands to do it. The body's moving good enough. I've been in worse situations and played at one tournaments. Now, haven't been in situations like this where I've had to walk and endure. When I'm going to try and endure, that's going to be different. It's a different challenge. But my back surgeries that I've had before and the stuff I had to play through, even going back to the U.S. Open when my leg was a little bit busted, those are all times that I can draw upon that I was successful. How I've learned how to block things out and focus on what I need to focus on, and that's certainly going to be the challenge this week.
Well, Tiger, no matter what your decision is, it has been a joy to have you back at Augusta, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.